So here you can see that I've built up a basic crowd scene with my figures, and this is the kind of work that I'm going to get you guys to do. So remember, we're looking at putting the figure, which is people, into our environment. So we've been developing our buildings, our models. Now we're going to use our models to draw, to put into the background and to put figures around, so that we create a convincing scene. So it's really important to start with where you want the figures to be, because the buildings are behind them. So what I would do is to place these out like this, and then afterwards I would construct where my buildings go. What I'm trying to do is to create that idea of perspective by overlapping my figures and building them up. And it's simply as that. Now, the way in which I do that is that I will go on to the internet. Drawing real people is the best, and I'll show you some examples in another clip from here, where I have just drawn people directly from life with no camera, where they are, and I'll just show you some basic examples of that. The next clip though, I'm going to demonstrate how I would start to draw a figure. First thing you will need to do is either get a real person, or get pictures from the internet, and we're going to go for that. So I've got my picture from the internet, and what I'm going to do now in this space here is just start to draw a scene from a park. So I'm just going to put my figures in there. So I've got my other little drawing down here. This one's just going to be a figure from the park. So literally what I'm doing, you're doing a very simplified version of the person that you can see. So you're not doing stick figures, but you're not taking too long to construct your figure. It's like a kind of shorthand of, we call it figure drawing. So that's the back of this girl's head, and then the two arms here, and then just a simple version of what the hands would look like. So it's kind of a cross between proper careful drawing and stick drawing. So you're not really drawing sticks. So I've got, there's somebody got his head on her lap, so I'm just going to draw that. So there's a couple of people there, and the point is not to worry too much if it doesn't look exact. I used to do this when I was a kid, and I'd call them scribble drawings. So there's his hip area there, and then I've got the leg there, and then there's the shoes, like so. Now I want to put somebody in the distance, so I'm going to establish where the horizon line is, so they're going into the distance. And what I would do would be just to find another person from another picture. So the thing is now is that I go from one set of images to another to find a suitable figure to put in, and that's the simple one there, and that establishes a distance. Not particularly well drawn, but it's another person. So all I'm going to do now is find some other people to put into that space. So I found a couple of suitable people, so I'm just going to put somebody over here. They're just going to go in there. I'm going to establish whereabouts they're standing, which is about here, and then I'm just going to draw them. It's a lady with a bag. She's got her back to us, so we can't really see her. So I'm establishing the key points, which is the t-shirt. She's standing there, and then she's just there, about there. Very quick, just establishing that. I want to add somebody who's going to be next to her, who is just going to be walking past. So I'm going to flick to another one, and this guy's just walking this way. He's going to be slightly in front of us, so his head starts here, so he's a bit taller. Now, obviously I'm reaching to get in front of the camera to draw, so it's a little bit of an awkward angle, and I'm also talking to you, so I'm not really concentrating. But the key point here is I've got a sharp pencil. I'm not spending too long drawing. I'm not just drawing stick figures, but I am doing a shortened, very simple kind of idea. And there's the person walking past now. So now I'm starting to build up my scene. I'm going to have somebody standing over here who's going to be overlapped by this person who's now in front. So I can see somebody here, somebody else walking. He's going to be walking just past here, so his head's going to be about there. So he's going that way into the space. And again, I've just flicked through the internet, found somebody, got a t-shirt on again, great, everybody seems to be in summer dress from the groups that I'm looking at. That's there, it's got shorts on. Now, because it's overlapped, I don't need to draw this bit, so the more people you add in, actually the easier it gets, because more and more of them are beginning to overlap, and that's quite a key thing, because it helps you to establish the idea of depth. Because if she's overlapping him, he's obviously further away. Now notice, look, he's going up, that one's further, so I've got that perspective line where they are. If I suddenly put him down there, he would look like she's floating in the air, so that wouldn't work. So now I've got that, and then I can just keep going, adding more and more figures in, and they get further and further away, they're smaller and smaller. So I've got a nice group here, there's a lady walking, she's going to be about here in the distance. So I've got a very small person there, nice sharp pencil so I can get some details. Just knocking her in there, like that. Very simple. As I say, almost like that figure, scribble drawing. There she goes, she's in there. Got another guy behind her, he's going to be about here. Just there's the head, there's the stomach, he's got a bit of a stomach on him, bit of a fatty. There you go, and he's behind her now, so you can't see, he's just there, so you've got a little gap of people now, and that's when I might start adding in my buildings, etc. And then I've started building up my scene, and some lady lying down in the middle of the street now with this, but I could add trees instead and it becomes a park. And that's how you build up your scenes. Okay, and that is your job today.